Moving forward, we will touch on user experience inspired innovation. And for that next speaker, please welcome Engineer Ismail, the B2B business manager at Ismail, Apple Premium Reseller.
Good morning. Dear Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ismail. I take care of the B2B business at Ismail. We make small and medium-sized businesses succeed with Apple, along with educational institutes. Mentioning the fact that Mr. Muhammad mentioned earlier, innovation comes from creating an impact, and the impact has to come from the users. So basically, I'll be talking about the user experience at how it inspires innovation, the story of Apple. I will start off with this short video to cheer up the morning. I know we're tight on schedule.
My desk is on the 7th floor. If you need anything, you can call me. Make sure to keep your ID with you because you're going to need to badge in every time you re-enter.
Cafeteria is on the 4th floor, and we generally take lunch about 12:30.
Whoa. This is where I'm sitting?
For now, yeah. With the big move coming up, it's kind of crazy around here. I promise it's only temporary.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Fan, är det apparat?
Nej! Law公啊 ，WeChat 不工作了。
Come on! Legacy, we need Airbnb! This is not an Airbnb! Where are we, man? I don't know, man! I don't even know what city we're in! Look out!
World leaders are declaring a global state of emergency until the app situation can be resolved.
Selfies! Hey, buddy! Selfies! Selfies!
The apocalypse is nigh! The apocalypse is nigh!
Okay, who wants to go first?
iTunes! Get you iTunes!
Do you think we should have gone with the puppy face?
I just ate this whole pizza by myself! Hashtag too delicious to share! Hashtag pizza emoji! Farm bill 2 right here, y'all! Hashtag Instafood! Brian, looking for Brian? Hashtag does anybody want a slice?
We need you guys, developers. All right, I would like to start my presentation with a quote for Steve. One of the things that I've always found that you've got to start with the customer experience and then move backwards to technology. Again, without the customer, whatever technology you have does not make sense. And it's great every time we speak about technology and especially innovation, the first thing that pops up to our mind is Apple. And Apple is a 41 years old company. And till today, it stands at the top of the technology companies. She stands at the top next to the Amazon and the Facebooks and the Googles of this world, which just existed like 1 or 2 decades back. Still, a 41 years old company stands at the top. So throughout our presentation, we're going through the innovation roadmap, how the user experience derives the innovation. And then we'll talk about the story of Apple, which is user experience, the maximum technology that we can get, which derives technology. And then we'll go 9 years back. We'll see what happened 9 years back. Okay. So the early developers of the Mac, or the Macintosh at the time, they had such a passion for the device. Computers already exist. We had fantastic computers, but those guys had passion. And that's what differentiated Apple throughout that journey. They created a product at the time when the computers were only for specialists who lived in discrete areas or for specialists in enterprises or in specific industries, the guys at Apple created a product which had the best technology and without any compromise created a fantastic user experience. We will see that user experience and how the best technology along with an amazing user experience that which created the innovation. So we'll start off with the Mac. Back in 1984, Apple had the Macintosh, Lisa, one of the first computers that used the mouse. It had powerful graphics, the first machine to use a GUI interface, graphical user interface. It was super fast. So what they did is they reduced the complexity of this machine. They added a mouse, again, focusing on user experience to make it very simple for the normal individuals, not only for the industries. Same thing followed with the iMac. Again, fantastic device, super fast, supports high-speed networks, especially at that time, Apple started to focus on the education sector, so that worked perfectly in the education sector. And again, with this, the all-in-one design, which came in different colors, again, to be able to touch the normal users, the students, to be able to have the teachers, people at home, parents, work. So the device was very complex. At the same time, it relates to everyone. 2001, iPod. MP3 already existed at the time. They were not the ones to remove the CD or whatever existed at the time. But what they had a fantastic technology, putting 1,000 songs on a small device. But then, if I have 1,000 songs on a small device, but I have to click through 1,000 songs, it does not make sense. So I had to focus again on the user experience. So they created the click wheel, so that I can navigate through 1,000 songs and still have a fantastic journey while navigating and using that device. 2007, everything changed. They had a machine that combines the Mac, email, YouTube at the time, HTML, all what you can do on the Mac, added it with a music device, the iPod, having it being on the internet, and plus it was a phone. The iPhone came along. And in order to have a device that runs all these things, a keyboard is not required, because when I'm watching YouTube, I don't need the keyboard. So again, it used user experience. They removed the keyboard, all screen, multi-touch. And everything now it's running behind the software. Whatever the software gives me, my screen is the point of interaction. iPad. It combined the iPhone along with the Mac to put the internet in the hands of the users. You'll be able to navigate and browse in a fantastic way. And I can say, maybe iPad did not pick it up at the time, but now it's picking up. iPad is the #1 device in the mobility sector when we talk about enterprises and education. Currently, everybody is moving mobile. Apple Watch, 2015. What happened is they created the most personal device. You can connect with people, fitness, healthcare. But then again, it's very small. I'm not going to use my fingers. So again, they went back to the user experience. They introduced the digital crown so that you can navigate while using the watch. At the same time, they had voice so that you'll be able to use Siri if you want to call someone, call so-and-so. And voice is something that we have to watch for the next decade, especially now with the introduction of the HomePod soon in December. iPhone 10. Two things that we can notice about iPhone 10. True depth camera, which supports Face ID. Face ID maybe already existed, but now it will actually be used by the users. And then it's an all screen, and it's literally all screen, edge to edge. What does these two give us? True depth screen with all the sensors, it opens the gates to augmented reality. An all screen device is what you can do with the screen. The screen is the essence of the interaction of the human being. Since you've been a kid, you've been interacting with the screen on the TV, and then now you're interacting with the screen on the computer, and now interacting with the screen on our phone. So the screen is amazing. And it all goes back to the developers. What the developers can give us from this screen. Okay, so what happened 9 years back? 2008, Apple gave the developers the access to the App Store. Hosting is free. If you want to sell an app for free, it's free. And then you'll be able to reach every iPhone. For the Android users, now we're talking about 700 to 800 iPhone users. With a small app, you'll be able to reach 800 million users. That will be amazing. That's where maybe Facebook already existed on computers and desktops, but the boom came up when it became an app. Same thing for Twitter. The Uber, the Airbnb, all became from apps. Maybe started for free, some of them. It's amazing what we can do. That's most of the presentation. Thank you so much. And I would like to end up my presentation with a short video of what's happening in education.
Introducing Classroom, your new teaching assistant. Classroom on iPad is made just for teachers to help you oversee the work your students are doing, guide them through lessons, and manage their iPads.
Good morning, class.
When class begins, Classroom gives you an overview of what all your students are doing. You can see when students log in, the apps they open, and who's using each app. If needed, you can take specific actions on any student's iPad to guide their learning and keep them on track.
All right, I've got something really cool to share with you guys today.
To get students excited about a new lesson, start by sharing some engaging content, like a textbook in iBooks, or a website you've bookmarked in Safari. The website opens instantly on every student's iPad, so they can dig in and start learning.
Cool, right? Okay, for the next activity, you'll be working in groups.
Classroom makes it easy to organize your class into activity groups. Simply select the students you want to include in a group and give the group a name. That's it. You're ready to start activities.
All right, class. Stay focused and on task.
Start your class's group activities with apps with just a few taps on your iPad. Simply select a group, find the app you want, and tap to open it. The app opens simultaneously on each student's iPad in the group. They can start creating and learning. You can also lock an app to prevent students from switching to a different app and getting sidetracked.
Remember, if you have any questions, I'm right here.
Keep track of the work students are doing right from your iPad. With Screen View, you can see all your students' iPad screens in real time. Tap any student's screen to get a closer look at their work. While you're watching, the status bars on student iPads turn blue, letting them know you're ready to help.
Hey everybody, check this out. Let me show you what Noah's doing.
If your class has a monitor equipped with Apple TV, you can quickly showcase students' work as it's happening. With AirPlay seamlessly integrated into Classroom, a student's iPad screen can be projected and shared with the class. Sharing student work is a fun and easy way to build confidence and celebrate success. As you wrap up your class and get ready for final announcements, you can lock each student's iPad to get everyone's attention.
All right, everybody, let's wrap up for today.
With Classroom on iPad as your new teaching assistant, you're free to focus on teaching, so your students can focus on learning.